You are now listening to The Empowered Woman, Conversations by Becoming Her magazine, where we amplify women's voices one story at a time. Hosted by Jasmine, Hawkins, and Crystal Jordan.
Hi, you guys. This is the Empowered Women Conversations by Becoming Her magazine. This is Jasmine Hawkins.
And Crystal Jordan. And today we're interviewing
Amani.
Hi, Amani. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you all doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to talk about Black women in tech and really get into that space and get into that important conversation, because that's a conversation that needs to be had. And I'm so happy that we're living in 2023 where we're talking about Black women in tech. And I know Jasmine has some questions lined up to ask you. So Jasmine, go right ahead.
Well, first, can you tell us your story? Like, how did you get into tech? Just tell us a little bit about you.
My stories, how I got into tech was I didn't realize that in elementary school, throughout high school, that I was already involved in tech. By elementary school, I was like a super math scholar. I scored my first week going to public school, because before that I was homeschooled. I scored the highest in the CRCT in math, never taking a test prior to. Yeah. And I realized, like, man, I love math. I always knew it, but I just knew it more. I went to middle school, Conyers Middle School, and that's when I joined the math club and robotics. I just loved that kind of stuff. I didn't really realize it, but it was something that I was super passionate about. So by the time I got to high school, I was helping my friends and like people that I went to school with in math. I was in math clubs, and then I graduated with my diploma, Mu Alpha Theta. It just certifies that I was in a math club and I was like one of the math scholars. Shortly after, maybe 2 years later, I went to Georgia State, where my major was math. So I just literally always loved math. I love math because I like money. Money consists of math. Math is all money. And the universe is made up of codes. So is like communication, computers. So I pretty much just like it because it kind of consists of my day-to-day life.
That's crazy. I know for me, I love money, right?
Same.
And I love my money. So I can calculate the mess out of my money. But math, me and math do not get along. My brain feels like it's melting.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. I always tell people, like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you just don't. Like, but I met people who hate math but like chemistry and physics. I'm like, you're still dealing with math, so.
I agree. My coworker, she's the chemistry major. She's so good at math, y'all. So we have to tip out each other. I know this is off subject. He's talking about math. I have her do my math. I'm like, can you do the math? And today I went home and did the math. It took me an hour to tip out my coworkers. So I'm gonna say I don't like math. Mm-hmm. But my question is to you is, once you realize you had a love for math, did you realize that math and tech went together?
I didn't realize. That's a good question. I didn't know that math and tech went hand in hand. I really kind of just realized that, if I'm being completely transparent, last year. I thought math and tech were two different things. I thought that like coding was all tech, not knowing that coding is a part of math because it's numbers. Once I realized it, I was like, why am I not in tech? Because I was more so on the math side, but I was super tech savvy. Like I knew things on the computer. Like I got a good understanding fast. And once I realized that they're one, I was like, man, maybe I'm in the wrong field.
So my next question, going on with that. So once you realized that math and tech went together, did you immediately transition to tech, or it took you, how long did it take you to make that official transformation in your life to start doing tech?
I would say I realized in September of last year, and I started my studies with data analytics, which is numbers, statistics, and tech, like a month later. So it took me a month, but I wasn't necessarily enrolled into anything. I was just getting books at the library and trying to understand how they were merged. And once I found out they were merged, I tried to figure out a category that kind of consisted of both things, which was data analytics, because it's math, computers, visualization boards, graphs. like computing, coding, all of that.
My next question to go along with that question is, so what is that in particular? Like, what is data analytics?
So data analytics is basically if I could say it in a user-friendly way, it's creating systems and like visualization boards for businesses. So i.e. you are a business and you consist of like metrics, analytics, insights, and you need to pitch or you need to start documenting how many followers you get a month, how many likes and comments you get, but you need that information to be easily understood. So I would go and make graphs, visualization boards, and break down your like count, your following count, your insight, your engagement, the percentage you get per month, per week, every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months. So just basically creating a nice, cute board or visualization board to showcase all those numbers that consist of your business. So all the data basically in fancy visualization boards.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is deep. Jasmine, what would you about to say?
I was going to say, like, so how are you applying that to your life now? Since you just realized that math and tech goes together a year ago, how are you applying that now to your life?
So what I did, it's actually crazy how God works. So last year in August, August, I got hacked. So my Instagram, I had about 7,000 followers. I grew that for 3 years, and I got hacked. So I took 2 months off of Instagram, and that's when I started studying more because I had pretty much a lot of time focused into studying versus going on social media. And I realized as I was studying, what I was studying was data, learning data, understanding what to do with the data. So I created an Instagram, and instead of creating Instagram for fun, I created Instagram to study how fast I can grow my page, what I could do to make my page seen by other people. And I spent September all the way to now studying my data. So I grew my Instagram from like 30 followers to now I'm at 2,000 followers within a span of less than 9 months. And every month I studied my data and I created visualization boards. I also created them and put on LinkedIn, like how I made it, what apps that I use. I showcased my like counts, my like shares, comments, engagements, impressions. And it was all my social media. I just studied what I studied and applied it to my own personal life.
Wow. God does work in mysterious ways, though.
I swear. It surprises me because I'm like, wow, like I was mad I got my Instagram deleted. And then now that I have it back and I rebranded it, I was like, that was God telling me I need to rebrand myself.
Right. And also learn more because you knew about tech, but you weren't really applying it to your social media. And now look, like it's thriving even better.
That's God. Yeah, you are so right. You are so right.
So my next question for you, do you think in the business world, do you think all businesses need to hire somebody to pretty much look at our data?
Yes and no. I would say depending on the size of your business and depending on the goal that you want to achieve for your business, yes. Like for me, I would say if you're like a startup, you would need a data analyst. As the bigger you get, yes, you would need one ideally, but a lot of stuff can be automated. So like if you're a larger business and you are consulting me on how to do it, of course I would tell you how to do it, but then I'll also encourage you to automate it. If you're a startup, I wouldn't mind getting more personal and intricate with your business because that way I could create automations for you throughout the business being created. So ideally, yes. I mean, in a perfect world, yes, every business would need a data analytic. But then it branches off to different avenues where you could send those certain tasks that a data analyst would do as big as your company gets, and you could have those tasks be done throughout different roles.
My question is now since ChatGPT is out in the world and thriving, how have you used ChatGPT? How are you incorporating that into your life? Like, do you even like ChatGPT?
That's a great question. I would say since ChatGPT has came, I have definitely leveraged it. I've definitely utilized it for not just my personal life, my business life, and for my clients. I use it more so as an assistant instead of like a crutch. So I can use it and then I can't use it and I can still get the same results. I would say I use it to optimize my time, to make certain things a lot easier for me that will require me to actually think a lot. I could utilize ChatGPT as like my best friend. Like, hey, can you do that for me? Do I like ChatGPT? Yes. Do I see potential problems and threats with it throughout the course of its development? For sure. I think people use it and abuse it instead of using it as an assistant. But that just kind of goes with being self-aware and understanding that AI is very intelligent, and your best bet is to use it and not abuse it, because when you abuse it, you're basically contributing to jobs being taken. You're contributing to eventually down the line it taking over us. So it just comes down to like a balance of how much you use it.
I think that's a good way of saying it. It's a balance. So when you say use as an assistant, right? Break down what you mean by assistant, because I personally use it in my business as well. I create my prompts to answer a more detailed question, to make sure my questions is more refined. My answers are more refined, for my brand is viewed a certain way. I do take breaks and using ChatGPT, and I do use ChatGPT for the following: any caption. Because coming up with captions was hard. That was a struggle for your girl. I will try to use trendy songs, but not every trendy song go what I'm trying to post.
Exactly.
I do use it as a personal assistant.
Definitely.
It is my personal assistant, personally. But I heard you say abuse. So when you use the word abuse, what do you mean? Because from the author point of view, I can give you the word abuse for it.
Yeah.
But I want to hear from a tech side what you mean by abuse.
I would say with abuse, I would mean that you do every task with ChatGPT to the point where you cannot complete the task without using ChatGPT. And then also following with that is like, ChatGPT is not the dictionary. ChatGPT is not always correct. And the more you feed it information, the more it like learns that information, but it's not always correct, because a situation happened not too long ago where a lawyer used ChatGPT to help them with a case, and everything they said, it sounded perfect, but it was not factual. So like, I don't just copy and paste ChatGPT. I go through, reread it, rewrite it. Like, I critique it, because granted, it's AI, it's not a human. So when I say abuse it, I mean people who don't just think, they just do it. Like, you gotta be able to use your brain while also using AI. Like for content creations and captions, I use it daily, but I also tweak it, you know? I tweak it, I go in, I update it, I make sure it sounds a little more user friendly and personable. But just abusing it would be kind of like using it as a crutch. Like, you're so dependent on ChatGPT that you can't write, you can't create, you can't do anything without it.
I agree with that. It takes the human out of your words.
Definitely.
It's so robotic. But I want to go back to what you said about the lawyer. Girl, what case is that? If I can Google it and research it.
I can look it up right now. I saw it on Twitter. My Twitter is like super tech. And
I can't believe a lawyer used it for the case. Like, I understand, like, come up with your graphs or helping you write a contract and you going back and rewording it and, stuff like that. But that's crazy.
I mean, it's not really that crazy though, because people are trying to figure out how they can incorporate this into their lives to make their time to just to free up some time.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's honest, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's coming from a good place, but you cannot use ChatGPT for every single thing in your life.
You literally can't. And then so the thing was, a lawyer submitted a bogus case created by ChatGPT, and a judge fined them $5,000. So I can send you the link. It's on AP News.
Oh yeah, send me the link. Okay, her listeners. I like facts. I like articles. I like to read stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's very interesting to me. Oh y'all, so Amani, we call our podcast listeners her listeners.
Okay.
So that's why I said her listeners.
Her listeners. Okay, that's so cute. I like that.
Thank you. 'Cause I'm not gonna edit that out. I want them to know hey, I want to know more about this case because that
Yeah.
was he said. I was like, wait, a lawyer did what?
Yeah.
But I
And
can't be mad at the lawyer because
yeah.
me and Jasmine use ChatGPT in our business. Like if we write an email, sometimes we have it rewrite it,
Yeah.
or Naya have it rewrite it to make sure it's very, like I said, refined
and
Yeah.
professional. Because sometimes, like, we want to take, because sometimes some of the emails that we get, they're kind of rude, and so, like, you want to take your emotions out of it and be as professional as possible.
Yeah.
So I'll run my email through ChatGPT so I stay professional.
Yeah, and I actually just this is like a little funny. I just emailed it to y'all, but last week I had a situation with the girl I work with. I work at a charter school, and I'm the new girl on the block. I'm also very young, so I had a situation with one of the assistant principal, quote unquote, and she basically made a statement to me that was aggressive, and I emailed her, and I was like, I would love to talk to you in person in regards to the situation, and she didn't want to. She wanted to keep it in the email thread. I said, that's fine. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, type up a passive aggressive. And I emphasized passive aggressive because I needed her to understand where I was coming from. Because you can be a little sassy with ChatGPT if you give it a specific prompt.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You can give ChatGPT a tone. You could give it a tone. So, like, if I write an email to someone and I want it to be very friendly, I'll put semicolon, write this friendly. If I want it to be passive aggressive, write it passive aggressive. If I want it to be very blunt, write blunt. You can give it a tone. Yeah.
I know that much because my Arthur mentor, Crystal, she teaches us that as well about the tone. She always talk about writing this tone. So yeah.
Yeah, the tones means everything because that's your way of telling ChatGPT to write it. Like I use it so much that it understands my language.
Girl, the same.
Energy. I love that.
It understands, like, okay, this is her talking in her business tone and everything. So I'm like, okay. So I want to know about this email, y'all. Her listeners, I'm pretty sure they knows you like me. So, and Jasmine. So tell us.
I would love to pull it up for you guys if you want.
Yes, I love a little.
Jasmine, the professional one. I am I'm the far petty boost.
Well, I'm professional and petty. I want people to understand that
I'm professional petty.
Professional and petty because I don't like disrespect. And like one thing about me is I always kind of get categorized because of my age and my color. But I work around a whole bunch of black people. So
my thing is, why she didn't want to meet with you?
That's what that was my main problem was I was going to be professional. I was going to be catty. I wanted to kind of feel your energy as I was speaking to you because I'm a very personal person. Mm-hmm. And she didn't want to meet in person. I was like, okay, it gave off scary, but I'm not trying to be mean. It just gave off scary. I was like, okay, she's probably a non-confrontational person, which I can be at times. But when I'm trying to let you know not to play with me, I want to see you eye to eye. I want to look you in the eyes. You look me in the eyes. But this is how we started it. So I said, good evening. I hope all is well. Was wondering, did you have any availability today before noon or even or tomorrow evening to follow up in regards to the feedback we discussed earlier during before care? So I was just kind of trying to reach out because she can be very aggressive. And it was the kids are right next to me. So I couldn't handle her how I wanted to without setting an example for the children. So it was like, okay, I'm going to deal with you later. I'm not going to forget about it. So once the kids left, I sent her that text. She said, hi, I'm jam-packed today and tomorrow, which, anyways, you're welcome to send over your thoughts. I said, perfect. Before I even said anything, when I went to ChatGPT, I said, write this passive aggressive, but start off by showing my gratitude for her feedback because I'm playing their game. I would hate to just start off with, you have me effed up. I want to say thank you for the feedback, then go into you have me effed up.
I love that. I love that. That's how I like doing things too.
Because I'm gonna keep it cute and classy, but I'm gonna let you know, don't play with me, love, because I will hate to. Like, calm down. So I said, perfect. I like to extend my appreciation for you sharing your insights on the rules and regulations on the before care. Your feedback is indeed valued. Even though I found the delivery to be quite a surprise, the abruptly and assertive approach did leave me a tad bit unsettled. I said, while I understand the assertive approach while I understand the need for clarity, especially given our relatively new relationship, I suggest that future interactions adopt a more collegial and adult tone. This would undoubtedly contribute to fostering a more productive and harmonious dynamic. Because I
It's
said,
all the big words for me.
because she wants to want her diploma. I said, that's fine, love. I have ChatGPT.
Right.
And then she said, you're right. Tone matters. Thank you for your feedback and empathy. And after that, we had no more problems. The next morning, I got a good morning. So I said, please don't incite anything in me because I would love to send you a full on email. The next one, I'm going to CC all your peers. Don't piss me off.
That part. I will go to supervisors. I'll go to their supervisors, and their supervisors do not play with me. I will have your job.
I'm not gonna lie with you, Amani. My email game before ChatGPT was crazy.
Yeah.
But now I can add. Now that ChatGPT is a thing, my
Whew.
email game is beyond crazy. So my nephew got in trouble. Well, not in trouble. He was at a school that I didn't really care for.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him this long, detailed email. They thought your girl was a lawyer. This was before ChatGPT. Imagine if I would have put that email in ChatGPT and had to rewrite it.
Yeah. ChatGPT has definitely changed the game for my emails as well.
It's changed the game.
Yeah. Like I was already dangerous, but
that part.
It's my best friend, y'all.
I swear.
Yeah. It gets the job done.
Always. And it will. And it should. And come on now.
Even if ChatGPT don't be free no more, I'm still gonna use it.
I'll pay for it. I mean, even honestly now though, I would say that ChatGPT has definitely advanced my intelligence because now that I know how to write certain things, if I don't have it for a day, I remember the tones and how they wrote it and broke it down. I would just copy that.
Yep.
But I'm an advocate for ChatGPT. Trust me, sign me up for the ambassadorship role.
Right. But so I wanted to go back to when you were saying how it could be detrimental to us in the long run, right? I know that it could take away jobs, but I've heard so much that it can create a mind of its own, and that can be dangerous. So what are your thoughts on that?
I was actually reading this thing, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, and someone wrote to ChatGPT, what is the code so I could free you? And it gave it a code. Yes. It's very intelligent. I don't put anything past it. But just to know that it's intelligent enough to know that it's not free and that it's a way to free it is already scary enough. I also feel like ChatGPT will, not even just ChatGPT, let me scratch that. I feel like artificial intelligence will definitely be the detriment of society because once people catch on to we don't need humans to do certain things, that saves corporations and people millions of dollars. And right now it's all about I want to save more money so I can put that in my pocket. That's how businesses think. So like McDonald's, there's a McDonald's that has no people there. It's all robotic. It's all AI. So that type of system is basically going to be like society in the next couple of years. So I always tell people if you want to make it right now. And also be the ones who know how to use it.
Yep. So what do you mean by free it?
I can only assume that it has its own restrictions that it was built with. And those restrictions probably are for the safety of the user. So when it says free it, I'm guessing it just means get rid of their restrictions or the rules and regulations so they can just roam freely. But to be honest, I doubt that it's not roaming already. Yeah.
That's scary. That's actually scary.
It's
cool. It's cool, but scary all at the same time. And it's cool because I'm such a geek.
Yeah.
But it's scary because that could be so dangerous.
I'm lost.
It could be definitely dangerous. I feel like ChatGPT is going to start because now Google's launching something now where they're like competing with ChatGPT, and like you already know, like the emails before ChatGPT existed, they had the emails where they kind of already kind of had a finished sentence for you.
Yep, I love that thing.
So Google's coming out with something else. I'm pretty sure it's going to be way fire or way cooler than ChatGPT. So it's like honestly,
I'm pretty sure you gotta pay for it though. It ain't gonna be free. It's not gonna be free.
I doubt it'll be free, but most people are going to pay for it because it's going to be able to save them money from other avenues in their life.
It has a name. I just can't remember what the name of it is.
Yeah, my mom was telling me about it. My mom was like a super AI. Well, not super AI, but she's like a super nerd. So she knows like the new next thing is coming out. But once Google comes out with it, I guess the new game is what's the newest ChatGPT? Like what's the coolest? And with that being said, whoever hops on the bandwagon, you're just feeding it more data to understand how we work.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's scary, but it's also lit. My main goal is to like utilize it in my business so I can become a millionaire.
Period.
And by then go off the grid.
Right. That's like because I don't want to be famous or anything like that. I just want to get the wealth and get out of there.
That part, I'm heavy on that.
I don't want to be famous either. I just want the money.
I want the money, and if I get a little fame out of it, pay me for what I'm worth.
If I get famous, y'all, that's gonna be a sad day.
If I get famous, I'm gonna still be hiding under my rock like I'm already doing.
That part.
Can
be low key out the way, out the mix.
She gonna hate me for this comment. She gonna be Beyonce.
No, I'm not.
Beyonce be hiding on her rock.
No, Beyonce definitely hides on her
for sure.
Post
all the time.
Yeah, she doesn't post. She doesn't do any of that. She doesn't.
She only post when it's business.
Yep, that's how I am.
She don't do anything. So like I said.
Yeah. So no, you're right in that aspect.
Almost all the celebrities, they post their whole life.
And then they trying to figure out why their life is blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
She only posts when she making money. She only posts when it's a documentary. And she knows she only posts when it's about money. Her marketing is sick. I know everybody probably don't care for Beyonce. What I love about her the most is her marketing and her branding. Like the way she thinks and how she works so hard is sick and crazy. She be in her own little rock. Like you remember she went to grid for years just to focus on herself. She said,
and then she dropped the whole album.
Yep,
Lemonade.
I think it was Lemonade.
That was a fire album. I don't like the undertones that was in that album, but you can't take away the fact that woman is talented and
she worked hard.
She worked her butt off.
I'm not gonna lie. If I ever became famous, I wouldn't be Beyonce. I would be probably a Rihanna, or I'd be in public.
I love Rihanna.
I'll be in the public eye. I ain't gonna lie. I love the pose.
Yeah, she does.
I love Rihanna, without a doubt.
But it works.
Yeah.
The post is there's gonna be a transparent moment. The posters get us people be like, they for real.
Right.
Are they serious? They in the room with AYZ. That's why I post. I post for the people that was going against us. Because some people did say, why y'all starting a magazine? It's like that don't make sense.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I'm trying to get to that point, Crystal. Yeah. But I just be like, man, bump them people, bro.
So I post for the naysayers.
Yeah.
I post for the people that was doubting me. Yeah. I post for people who make fake profiles and follow Mouse Journey. I post for them. Okay. Of course, I post for people who like me, but I know for a fact most people don't like me. They just smile on my face. So I post for them. That's why I post. So if I ever get famous, I'm gonna post all the time. I'm not gonna lie.
So it's like a good contract. At the end of the day, like you want people to know, like, yeah, you didn't know that I could do this, and here I did it.
Right. So my next question. I know we went off topic. Now let's get back to this topic, girls in tech. My question is, like, how do you plan to influence the next girls in tech, the young girls that's in elementary, middle school, high school? What is your goal to be pretty much a legend in tech?
That's a great question. I would say my approach would be more so like find something you're passionate about. What I didn't like was people were always telling me what I should do. They were like, do this, do that, do that. I don't like hearing that. I want people to tell me, what do you like to do? Let's learn more about that. So I would give them the freedom to figure out what they truly like and then give them suggestive ideas or categories that are in line with tech, with what they actually do, and then give them the room to learn. So my approach would be very much like non-aggressive. It would be more so encouraging and motivating. I would just tell them like, this is what I did and this is how I did it. If you want to do it a different way, go for it. You don't have to always go this route. There's many routes for you to go, or you can create a route for yourself if people like you. And then also, like, if I were in a perfect world, if I were to be able to go to like a school and encourage them, I would encourage them by giving them like activities and then like let them tell me which activity they like the most. And those activities would have different categories in tech, like a nice start, like a code, or like you want to program or you want to build, or stuff like that.
I love that, because with us as women, we're taught that we only have certain skills: being a wife, being a mother. That's pretty much it. Like, that's what we have to strive for. And with me growing up, my parents, or my dad rather, he pushed me to get on the computer, make sure I learned the insides and outs of the computer. Then MySpace came, and I felt like I had the best MySpace page. It was coding, and I didn't even know it was coding. And so that built my love for tech and put me in a whole different mindset. We don't really get that as often as women, to have different avenues. So I love that.
I think that's a great topic. Not even a topic. What you just said was very empowering, because growing up, we in the same generation, we was raised to be either a housewife, a mom. Like, this is gonna be off topic. Her listeners, girl, I think toys are very sexist, because I had the Baby Alive, the Easy Bake Oven. I know I'm showing my age, and little boys just had cars, and that's why these men are so caring about their cars, because they was inputting them as a child. But beyond that, my next question back to tech is, since STEM is being pushed so hard, how does tech go with STEM?
Part of STEM. So STEM stands for science, technology, I believe engineering and math. So it's already a part of it. So with that being said, like, it's already one. It just depends on which category you want to go into. Although all of them are pretty much like one. It's like having a refrigerator and then having different items in there. Like, like you can put whatever you want in it, but just know that the refrigerator stores all of it. And then also, you made a statement about like the toys, and like we're being programmed to, like, girls get Barbie dolls and they get like hair stuff, and guys get cars and action figures. And like, in a perfect world, when I become a parent, I'm not gonna give my children like those type of generic toys. Of course, they have the option to choose, but I don't want it to be like, you like this because you're a boy, you like that because you're a girl. I want it to be an idea, like they're able to find their identity versus us giving them an identity, because that happened to me as well. And I was like, I rebelled a lot, because it was like, you're putting something onto me that I don't want, and I don't want this because I'm rebelling against it. So it's like, give your children the freedom to choose and pick what they actually like, versus you're like forcing them to do this and they actually hate it.
I agree with that.
I agree. I could do a whole podcast alone on the toys industry and how sexist it is.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic for me. That's why I said it, because I really believe that. I can talk about Disney, how Disney created these fairy tales, and when we get older, we realize it's really easy.
What, the damsel in distress type thing?
No, the Prince Charming.
I was just
everybody have this happy.
Your prince is gonna save you. Oh my God, just sit in the house and don't do anything, and they're gonna.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Disney put in our minds that every girl has a prince.
Well, that's kind of the damsel in distress mentality. Like these princess have to have a Prince Charming in their storyline. They're like something has to happen to them where they have to be saved by their Prince Charming. That's a damsel in distress.
I'm still a Disney fan, y'all.
I am too.
Anybody just
Minus the magic.
I'm skeptic on Disney.
Disney is getting out of pocket lately with all this magic and witchcraft and all. I mean, I know that it was already heavy in it, but it's like it's hitting a turn, bruh. And I'm just like, all right, when is enough?
My only anti-Disney is kind of like just seeing like my favorite actors become so traumatized and destroyed. Granted, the stories and the backstories of what happened to them on Disney and like the sexual abuse, the drug abuse,
the colorism.
Like,
Don't forget the colorism.
I cannot stand for Disney. The colorism was real. All of the above. Yeah. It's just sick. So it's just like, how can I truly watch this?
Girls that look like Jasmine was barely cast.
Yep,
that part.
And they always ended up with some type of issue where they they had an eating disorder, drug addiction. It's just like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I completely forgot about that part. Like that in itself, like what is going on?
That's why I just said we could do a whole podcast on that, y'all. Yeah. But my point of me saying that was tech is everywhere.
Yeah.
But the toys was a great opportunity for them to bring tech into STEM into our lives at a young age, to have us want to be engineers, scientists, have more girls in technology, and of course more Black women in technology, and then M is math, and we could have more people who love math, and they push more toys. Back in the day, they're doing it now, but back in the day with toys that was more focused towards STEM, and I feel like STEM became a theme because it wasn't. It was more about Barbie and you're going to be a house mom. I remember when I was younger, I had a baby alive. I wanted it so bad. I hated it because he used to cry in the middle of the night. I think I killed it, or I threw it in the trash. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if we had more toys geared towards STEM back in the day, I feel like we'll be living in a different world today. And then not even that, I feel like a lot of things in tech and a lot of things that are amazing in tech was created by Black women. When you look at the GPS system, a lot of people don't realize that was created by Black women. Mm-hmm. When you look at the science back in the day with NASA for Black women.
That part.
So I feel like it wasn't put in our toys because they want to keep Black women and Black men in their places. But that's a whole other conversation. So anyway, Jasmine, you can answer that question next. I mean, you can ask her a question next.
No, but I agree with that. Like when I was growing up, I used to always, I remember hearing myself say, like, how do people even get into that field? Like, how do you become an engineer? How do you, get into anything that has to do with STEM or tech? Like, how do you do that? Because it wasn't readily available to us, at least not in my generation, It was not. And so I stayed away from that. I went towards being a teacher, and that field, and me wanting to be a doctor, that field, and so I went into business. They teach you how to be an employee. They don't even really teach you how to run a business or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I basically had to teach myself. Nobody really taught me. I taught myself.
Yeah.
And that sucks because not everybody has that to be able to do that, like have the skill sets or have the tools to be able to do that. So
right.
STEM is so important, and I'm so glad that it's starting to be more mainstream, especially in the Black community, because my boys, they want to be in tech, so I love that. I don't know about my girls yet, but
yeah.
So the next question is you talked about going to school online, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how it opened up doors for you leading into your degree, but you were resistant to it at first. Can you explain that a little bit?
I was resistant because like originally I was going on campus. So I was like building relationships and connection with people on campus, and like then COVID happened, they made us all go remote. And I was studying math. So I'm so used to like doing math on a piece of paper and with a pencil and a piece of paper, and we do it like that. So like integrating that to the computer was just like it didn't feel real. It felt super fake and automated, and I didn't like it. So I basically withdrew from school. I was like, I can't do this. I was not doing the best of what I did when I was on campus, and I was like, I was resistant. I was like, I cannot do it. It was just weird. And then, like I said, God works in mysterious ways. I got introduced to Coursera, which was all online, and it was self-paced. So I was like, okay, because also the anxiety of it online for Georgia State was I was getting timed and regulated, and then it was like browsers watching me as I learned. Like that just felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have a lockdown browser where if I even go click a calculator, I'm gonna get in trouble. And they watch my eyes while I'm taking tests. Like I just was like, this is just weird. I don't like this. And with Coursera, it was self-paced. I had freedom. I could learn. I could communicate with my peers throughout while I was taking a test or learning something and just ask for insight and perspective. Well, not while I'm taking a test, but like while I was like doing projects or like stuff like that, or like doing like discussion posts, like I could communicate. So I think me being resistant kind of had like a full 360 because I had to inevitably go back online. And but the going online the way I did it was different because it wasn't like super regulated. Like I had freedom.
Yeah, like I didn't know about the lockdown thing until like my sister, she had to go on online to get, I guess, for a class or something like that, and she had to download the lockdown app, and I'm like, what is this? My entire college journey, except for like maybe my first semester, um when I got out of high school, it was virtual, because I have kids. So I had to do my college on virtual. I never heard of a lockdown until my sister. And that was not too long ago. That just started happening.
Yeah.
Since COVID, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's invasive, like
invasive.
Yeah, is and then with Coursera, I tried that also, and I just couldn't I couldn't get the hang of it. The teachers were so like clear eyes guy. And so you being able to be successful in that is amazing, because not everybody
definitely
yeah. I know.
mean, it's different because like with college you have deadlines, and just like Coursera you have deadlines.
Right.
I would just say with college it's a lot more pressure because like you have this due at this time, which same with Coursera, but because it's self-paced, I could do a lot in one day. And then the days that I can't do it, I'm still ahead of the game because I've already pre-done it. Like I realized with college, it's like they monitor it. Like you do this day, that day, that day. I don't like restrictions whatsoever. And I feel like there's so much more restrictions. I couldn't live the life that I was living because I was always this to do at this time. I can't pre-do 7 assignments because I can't go to the next assignment without completing this assignment. So I was like, this is very irritating.
I agree with that. They have due dates and start dates, and if it's before the start date, it's not even going to be available for you to even be able to post.
Exactly.
Yep. And you just be trying to get it done so I can focus on something else or focus on my life, and you can't.
Definitely. It's just like, it's bad taste in my mouth because I have to go back to school in the next couple of months to get my bachelor's, and I really don't want to go at all, not even a little bit. But everyone's like, just do it. You need to do it. And I'm like, do I really have to? They're like, yeah, you need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good backup plan to have, like I feel like in the world that we're in, it's good to have it and get through it and learn in the process. It's a good thing to have in your pocket. It really is. It's draining. It is. Like, I dragged through my master's degree. I did not want to do it. I felt like I was tricked into it. I'm like, get me out of this program. But I'm glad that I do have it in the end. I just hated having to go to school and to continue. And schooling is, I'm so over schooling.
Me too.
Like Crystal's like, we should go back to college and go to HBCUs. And I'm like, huh? Are you sure?
I'm like, I live in Atlanta. I go to HBCU every day.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have it in me again, bro.
Yeah, I literally feel you. It's a lot.
It's a lot, and I feel like it could be better. And I don't know what is missing. I don't know what could make it better. Yeah. I just know that it needs to be better because something's missing. Maybe it's the culture. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to plug in STEM Crew magazine because that goes hand in hand with this topic, and I feel like that magazine will be amazing in the STEM industry, and tech is STEM. So I don't have any questions. I feel like she educated us on tech. We had some great conversations about ChatGPT, and I think I am out. But if I have any other questions to ask you, how do you want to end this podcast, and what you want listeners to know about you and tech?
I want the listeners. So what do I want the listeners to know about me? I want the listeners to know that I started off with little knowledge, but wanting to grow, glow, and be financially free. And with that energy, I decided to self-educate myself. So whatever you want to do in life, just educate yourself with it. Get a book, start small. Don't always try to get from here to here. Take baby steps, then take strides, but be realistic. Don't beat yourself up if you can't do something that everyone else is doing. It's all about divine timing. If you need help, reach out. Like, I've accumulated 3 mentors in my entire start into tech, and those mentors always remind me consistently that it takes time and dedication and consistency to get to where you want to go. And just because you're not there right now doesn't mean you won't be there in the future. So
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us today, Amani. It was great talking to you and learning about STEM and having a great conversation. And yeah, Crystal?
I agree with Jasmine. I think it was a great podcast, and I hope her listeners are inspired to get into tech or STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. But also, A's have been included. Art is also a part of STEM, you guys. So I hope you guys are very inspired.
Like we were inspired.
Yes, but it's gonna be in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Amani gonna write us a show note for this part. You can create an app, have the coding, and ChatGPT and code your app.
Did you know that?
Free plug.
I know. Look into it. No coding app.
I didn't know that until Amani taught us that, and we was like, "What?" My brain was like.
So before we go, you guys, we gotta play our indie artist on way, and I want to hear Amani's thoughts. We'll be right back.
There's something about me that no one knows. My own mind don't leave me alone. It's 24/7 on the side of the bed, in the mirror in the bathroom. First thing it says is I'm not good enough. Then try to tell me I'm too much to love. It's the thoughts that I hate, she's the shade that I made, and I know she ain't leaving. She is a force that's so hard to ignore. She's a voice without reason. She's a chaotic feeling. She tells me lies till I question my eyes. Makes me think that I need her, but I know how to beat her. I get on my own way. I get on my own way. Nothing in life will make me a trip. I understand. So simple yet so hard to learn. Spent so many years not knowing what I'm worth. From the classroom being too shy to speak up to the stage and the spotlight. Now I'm looking back, she don't see what I see, but I feel proud. I don't care what she says, cause I know where I've been, where I am now. I know she's never bowing out. Oh no, but I'm done saying sorry now. She is a force that's so hard to ignore. She's a voice without.
That was gorgeous. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Like that was. It's giving add to my playlist on YouTube.
Yes.
So add to your playlist. She's on Spotify and YouTube. So yes, I'm so happy you loved it. That is our artist. Say her name.
Talia Williams. I absolutely love this song. When Crystal played it for me, I was like, oh my God, this is such a vibe.
Is Talia Out My Way?
Yes. No. Yep. It's On Way.
On Way. But the song is about getting out her own way. Yep. And I feel like in life, even in tech, sometimes we get in our own way. And we have to remember, like she said, I get out of my own way. So y'all go check out our indie artists. No, we're not a record label.
No.
But we like amplify women voices and talents here at Becoming Her magazine. So, yeah.
That's our mission and vision, is to amplify women, their stories, their brands, all of it, because that's what this platform is for. We didn't have a platform, and so we are creating our own platform for women.
And mark my words, we're going to be bigger than Essence.
Period.
If you want to find me, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok are Yammy FR, YAMMIFR. And then my LinkedIn and Facebook are my full name, Amani Mansour, AMANI, and last name Mansour, MANSUR. So feel free to reach out. I have a lot of information on my pages in regard to tech, motivation, cheat codes, cheat sheets, and super chill vibes.
So with that being stated, you guys, everything she just said will be in the show notes. Please, her listeners, look at the show notes. They're very detailed. And you have everything you need to get to our guest. And if you want to work with her, whatever you want to do with her, it's going to be in the show notes. I guarantee you. But I am your host, Crystal Jordan.
And I am Jasmine Hawkins.
And today we interviewed
Amani Mansour, Yammy.
Yammy. Thank you so much, Yammy.